So, how I listened to the universe and won 70,000 in the lottery again. So many of you, if you're used to my channel, you kind of know how this stuff goes. If you're new, then you're gonna learn how this stuff goes. The interesting thing is, I'm gonna tell you the story of my experience, and then I'm gonna give you some tips that you can use that maybe you're missing to show you how to listen to the universe. I mean, lottery is part of it. You could win the lottery, but other aspects of your life, abundance, any part, because there's always, we call it cheat codes in the universe. And look, it came out at perfect time. And I know you guys have been waiting a while for the book. Now the book is out, the ebook, the How to Win the Lottery Using Quantum Physics. So I have it out. I'll put a link in the comment section. You can go get it. And then in a couple weeks, I'll have the hard copy coming out, the Amazon version, and I'm going to do an audio version. So you're going to have the cheat codes to use. So everything's all about divine timing, because I've been working on this book for a while and it came out, and then I got this win again. So basically, the win, I'll talk about it. So, you know, the thing is, I'm gonna give you some tips that you must know to listen to the universe. So tip number one, you have to have a sense of acute awareness. So what do I mean by acute awareness? You have to be connected at all times around what's happening in your environment, in the present moment. It's different now. It's not like overanalyzing or overthinking now. It's just an awareness. It's just a state of being. It's just a state of being open. That's tip number one to make this stuff work. Tip number two, you have to have a go-to mantra. Affirmation, I call it mantras. There is something you have to say every day to get your subconscious mind tuned and programmed. I'll give you an example. I use many types of mantras for any type of situation, but just for the lottery or something like that, this is the mantra I use. I'll always say to myself, why am I consistently in the right place at the right time winning top tier lottery jackpot prizes? That's the mantra I repeat every day. I'm going to play the lottery. And I have mantras for other stuff in my life, other areas. Notice I put that mantra in a form of a question. Okay? And the reason I do that, many of you know now, you see, a question is the answer. Right? Listen again. The question is the answer. Always remember this. Statement closes the mind, a question opens the mind. When I ask a question, I am communicating to my higher self and the subconscious mind. Now it has to provide an answer for me. And the thing about the subconscious mind, guys, it only answers you through an experience. So that's something to remember. So what is an experience? A physical thing. It means it will put me in the right place at the right time. Now, let's go into the story of how this happened. So, I was driving, usually, and so I'm driving, and this truck pulls up. Kind of, I wouldn't say, it didn't cut me off this time, but it was kind of already there. Oh, by the way, I have documented pictures of this, so you can go, I have it on my YouTube community section in my Facebook group, so you can see for yourself, like, oh wow, this thing really did happen. So this truck, so this was Friday, last Friday, yeah, this past Friday. So this truck pulled up, and it was just an ordinary truck, nothing big about the truck. So I'm just behind the truck. But you know what? I see trucks and cars and numbers all the time. They pull up to me all the time. This is where the acute awareness comes in. Because I was open, right? And my awareness is all around. Something, that voice, that higher self voice, point me to that. And I looked at the number. The number was 4050 on the truck. Something like that. And I see numbers all the time. So, but this number just stood and the voice said, hey, you need to take a picture of this truck because it's going to come out. And you guys know that I always take pictures of these numbers before they come out, and you see them coming out. So that I do that to document, to inspire, to show you that, hey, this stuff is really how stuff works. So I took a picture of the truck that day because I knew that number was going to come out. I just knew it. That's that That's that awareness, that inner awareness you got to develop. Anyway, so what happens is, usually when I get these numbers, they usually take, for me, they take months to come out. So I kind of was preparing for what I call the long haul. So I would play light. But this is the first time this ever happened to me. So the truck was on a Friday, and when I seen that number, I started to play it that day. And the number came out the next day, Saturday, which is midday. So I always play light. That's why I only got 70,000. Usually I would play a little bit more, which would take me into more like 200 or even 300,000 win. So that was interesting. So because for me, usually months, but now I'm seeing the universe, it's the next day. Now, do I have a question? Do I have an answer for that? So Mark, why did it take months? Why did it take the next day? I don't know. It's the first time it happened. Maybe it could be the energy, maybe it could be timing, whatever it is. I was happy it did happen. So I played it. Of course, I comboed it. Or anyone plays the lottery or familiar with how the pick 4 works, you can straight box or combo. I comboed it. Basically means that any combination I number come out with, I'd win a top prize, which is for every combo would be $5,000. So that happened on Saturday, and that was it. So now what I want to talk about and help you guys to understand now is break it down and show you how this stuff works, right? So the thing about this is you have to first build a connection with your authentic self. That's very, very important. This wouldn't happen if I didn't build this connection with my authentic self or my higher self. And that's something you have to do. If you're someone who wants to maybe manifest abundance in the lottery or any part of your life, you have to connect with the universe. When I talk about the universe, I talk about higher self and things like that. So, Mark, how do I connect with the universe? Again, here's the answer, guys. Questions are the answers. You have to talk to yourself in question formats every day out loud. You have to ask the things you want to know in a question. You have to declare like they already happened in a question format, right? That's going to create that, what I call that drive, that answer. And the next thing that I do now to make this stuff work, I spend a lot of time listening to nothing. What is the guy talking about? Okay, if I'm out somewhere, anywhere right now, okay, your senses are all over the place. I bring my senses to one particular time and place in the moment. I just listen to the air, to whatever's happening. And then I'm always aware of my surroundings. It's not like I'm looking at it, but I'm just casually there. And I'm wondering what the universe is talking to me or what the universe is telling me. Those 2 tips will put you in that space to receive. Now, big picture is this. You don't understand this. We live in a perception world. Our perception creates our reality. So Mark lives in his perception world. He's entangled with the things that he's putting forth. That's why these things happen to me, these trippy things, because I'm entangled with it. So that's the next tip. You have to become entangled with your dreams or goals. If you want to be successful, you got to become entangled with what success looks like. If you want to have a relationship or soulmate, you have to become entangled with what that look like. If you want to win the lottery, you got to be entangled with that. So how do you become entangled with the thing, Mark? Mark becomes entangled because he believes the thing that he desires is desiring him more. Mark becomes entangled because he thinks he doesn't need that thing. It would be nice to have. So Mark creates a flow state. So now I'm open to receive those information from the universe. That's how I listen to the universe, and I want that money. And you can do the same thing. And guess what? This works for everyone. So did you know that every single day, every single time, the universe is giving you communication to get your goals and dreams to manifest? Did you know that? All the stuff you're thinking about, you want to create, you want to manifest, the universe has all the answers. It's giving it to you right now. So why aren't you receiving it? Here's the answer. It's because of your ego. So that's the next tip. Mark reconditioned his ego. You see, your ego looks at logic. Universe doesn't exist in logic. Higher self, there's no logic. This is like illusionary world where there's nothing impossible, because everything is already an illusion. It's a perception thing in your head. You're going to get what you believe. As far as your beliefs, that's what you're going to get. So the next tip I'm giving you now, another tip if you're listening. So how do I become entangled, Mark? Beliefs. You got to start believing what you want is possible for you. I'll give you another tip. Mark, how else do I become entangled? Self-work, right? Changing your story about yourself, taking out those limiting beliefs and start to focus on it. Those things will make you entangled. And it goes with the laws of physics, and people don't understand this. People's like, well, Mark, how does stuff happen? Because it's in the natural law of the universe. First of all, nothing is separate from nothing. Entanglement is a fundamental fact of how everything works. From one particle became all of us. You know, the universe never had a beginning. You know, the Big Bang wasn't a beginning. It was just an evolutionary stage of the universe. So there was no beginning of the universe. So that means you were always here. So everything you want was already here for you. That's the entanglement thing. But you cannot become entangled if you're not aware of entangled. You see, just like in your reality, you're walking past every day. If your brain hasn't filtered out the possibility, it's not going to show up to you, even though it's right in front of you. That's how this stuff works. So those are some tips for you if you want to listen to the universe. So let me do a quick review so you can get it. Number one is become very acute awareness. Develop that awareness by start to practice listening around, focusing, keening, tune out the ego. Number two tip now is what? The question formats. You have to have a go-to mantra every day. Very important, because it's going to incite your mind to put you in the right place at the right time. Just like my mantra. So get your mantra together. Okay? What's the next tip? Become entangled with the thing. You become entangled with the thing by having it in your mind, by visualizing it, by not needing it, by having that mindset. That thing now will start looking for you. You'll start seeing signs about that thing. Now that thing will start to come to you. And then when you use your mantra, your subconscious mind now starts to go out and bring that thing to you as an experience. And this can work for anything you want, man. The lottery is just a particular thing because, you know, you guys know my channel. I started this spiritual journey by winning the lottery over and over again, and then I just started teaching other aspects of it. So I use that, but it's just a base for a broader thing. So just remember this. It's not just lottery guy. No, this can be used. This system can be used. Formula can be used for every aspect of your life. Think about that. You just have to tune it to fit your desire. And that's how I listen to the universe to manifest abundance.